It is not he that fears death most that does not die. Welcome to another episode. We continue with our narrative of the conflicts of empires and the emergence of Islam. Let's remember that according to Gibbon, a famous writer, may God blessings be on him, there had been empires long before the birth of Christ, say about 480 BC. We had the Greek states or the Hellenic Empire. We also had the Persian Empire. Of course, the two were in conflict with each other. You know, human beings, and you know how much sweet forces. Then emerged Alexander and Macedonia as also a force to reckon with. And then came the Byzantine Empire that emerged from the Roman Republic. And so we had Greek Empire, Persian Empire, Alexander the Great, and also the Byzantine Empire, into brackets, the Roman republics. And even within the empires, there were conflicts. That's the nature of human being. So we salute Gibbon. May God be with him for giving us this narrative. We now go to point 19 of the narrative. The relations of the Persian monarch with Islam were different. He he either he dash either Khrushchev, either Khosrau Parviz. He dash either Khosrau Parviz or his successor dash received the Holy Prophet's messenger with contumely, and tore up his letter. Oh, he's found trouble. Whenever anybody tests out the prophet's letter, the fellow gets into trouble. Wallahi. Okay, let me repeat that phrase. Received the holy prophet's messenger with contumely and tore up his letter. Then full stop. Then we have in inverted commas, double inverted commas. So will his kingdom be torn up. So will his kingdom be torn up. Inverted commas closed. Said the holy prophet when the news reached him. And that was Yemen, thereabout Yemen, the king of Yemen. Uh, Said the holy prophet, when the news reached him, full stop, the Persian monarch ordered his governor in Yemen, the Persian monarch ordered his governor in Yemen to go and arrest the man who had so far forgotten himself as to address the grandson of Anushirwan on equal terms. Full stop. When the Persian governor tried to carry out his monarch's command, the result was quite different from what the great Persian king of kings, had expected. His agent accepted the truth of Islam. I told you, his agent accepted the truth of Islam, and Yemen was lost as to province Yemen was lost as a province to the Persian Empire and became a portion of the new Muslim state. Full stop. Khusrau Parviz Oh, pardon me. Sometimes I miss my lines. My knees are down for you. Uh, Hushraz, Hushrao Parviz died in February 628. Full stop. He had been deposed and imprisoned by his own cruel and undutiful son. What? Huh? By his own cruel and undutiful son. What a description. Of course, he's cruel. Not only cruel, but also undutiful son who reigned only for a year and a half. Full stop. There were 9 candidates for the Persian throne in the remaining 4 years. Full stop. Anarchy reigned supreme. Anarchy reigned supreme in the Sasanian Empire, comma, until the dynasty was extinguished by the Muslim victory at the Battle of Madian, at the Battle of Madain. Madain spelled capital Mada, lengthened Ain, in 637. In 637. That's about 9 years after the death of the king. The great glorious Persian monarchy, full of pride and ambition, came to an ignominious end, and a new chapter opened for Persia under the banner of Islam. I tell you, you can't tear the prophet's letter like that. Hmm? They didn't know him. They didn't even believe he was. They didn't even believe he was a prophet. Allahu Akbar. Point 20. The Roman Empire itself began to shrink gradually, losing its territory not to Persia, but to the new Muslim power, which absorbed both the ancient empires. Yes, which absorbed both the ancient empires. Full stop. This power arose in its vigor to proclaim a new and purified creed to the whole world. Full stop. Already in the last 7 years of Heraclius' reign, into brackets 635 to 642, several of the provinces nearest to Arabia had been annexed to the Muslim Empire. Pardon me, to the Muslim Empire. Uh, the Muslim Empire continued to spread on in Asia Minor to the north, in Asia Minor to the north, and Egypt to the south. Full stop. The Eastern Roman Empire became a mere shadow with a small bit of territory around its capital. Full stop. Constantinople eventually surrendered to the Muslim arms in 1453 BC. So you can see here Constantinople did not tamper with Islam. He simply surrendered. Mm? Constantinople, I think that's the state. It didn't surrender. It didn't tamper with Islam. Whereas Constantine did tamper with Christianity. Constantine, the person, did tamper with Christianity when he saw he couldn't conquer it and managed to change Christianity to line up with his idol beliefs, to his pagan beliefs. Mm. But the same state couldn't do that with Islam except to surrender. Uh, where was I? I've raised my hand and I've also raised, and I've raised my hands and I've erased my memory of where I stopped. Okay, let's see. Already in the last 7 years of Heraclius' reign, several of the provinces nearest Arabia had been. No, no, no. I think I've gone too far. Let me begin 20 again. The Roman Empire itself began to shrink gradually, losing its territory to Persia, but not to Persia, but to new Muslim power, which absorbed both the ancient empires. Full stop. This power arose in its figure to proclaim a new purified creed to the whole world. Already in the last 7 years of Heraclius' reign, 635 to 642 AD, several of the provinces nearest to Arabia had been annexed to the Muslim Empire. The Muslim Empire continued to spread on in southern in Asia Minor to the north and Egypt to the south. The Eastern Roman Empire became a mere shadow with a small bit of territory around its capital. Constantinople eventually surrendered to the Muslim arms. Oh, sorry, I went back too far. I should have continued where I had started earlier. Let's go to 29, 21 now. 21. That was the real end of the Roman Empire. Full stop. But in the wonderful century in which the prophet lived, another momentous revolution, revolution, not revelation, revolution. Another momentous revolution was taking place. The Roman pontificate of Gregory the Great, 590 to 604 in brackets, was creating a new Christianity as the old Christianity of the East was slowly dying out. So you see, two Christianities already, already two Christianities. Hmm? Okay, uh, the patriarch of Constantinople had claimed to be the universal bishop. Oh, I'm going to the wrong side. Had claimed to be the universal bishop with jurisdiction over all the other bishops of Christendom. This had been silently but gradually questioned by the popes of Rome. Who be you? They say, who be you? Huh? You don't know that we are the popes. How can you say to you have jurisdiction over all of us? Huh? Okay, had been questioned by the popes of Rome. Full stop. They had been building up a liturgy. They had been building up a liturgy, a church organization, and a body of discipline for the clergy, different from those of the Holy Orthodox Church. They had been extending their spiritual authority in the barbarian provinces of Gaul and Spain. Gaul is spelled capital Gaul, of Gaul and state. Sorry, of Gaul and Spain, not state. Mm. This one is fading. They had been they had been amazing estates and endowments. Full stop. They had been accumulating secular authority in their own hands. Full stop. Pope Gregory the Great converted the Anglo-Saxon invaders of Great Britain to his form of Christianity. Another form of Christianity. Full stop. Let me repeat it. Pope Gregory the Great converted the Anglo-Saxon invaders of Great Britain to his form of Christianity. Full stop. He protected Italy from the ravages of the Franks and Lombards and raised the See of Rome See here is SEE, capital SEE, and raised the See of Rome to the position of a power which exercised ample jurisdiction over the Western world. Full stop. He was preparing the way for the time when one of the successors would crown under the authority of the Frankish Charlemagne Frankish Charlemagne as emperor. We might have heard of the name Charlemagne. Frankish Charlemagne as emperor of Rome and of the West into brackets AD 800. And another of his successors would finally break away from the Orthodox Church of Constantinople in 1054 by the Pope's excommunication of the Patriarch of Constantinople and Greeks. I think viewers, we will stop here. Uh, we will stop here. Oh, read the references. There are the references. I wrote them years back. I don't know if it's the case, but I've not been able to get them to read. For instance, Gibbon's writings, I haven't had them. Hmm? I believe one day I'll read them before dying, God willing. Anyway, uh, it's quite a long thing. No, I think we should stop there. When we come back in our next video, we shall read the reference to this passage or narrative, to this story. Thank you very much. Bye bye. May God be with you all.